Hey guys, welcome back to Mental Health with Mel. So let's get into what a toxic person is. So it can be defined as being abusive, unsupportive, or unhealthy emotionally. And yes, in a sense, someone with mental health disorders might be unhealthy emotionally, like maybe not fully able to express themselves, maybe a little emotionally stunted or walls up. So that's possible, but having your guard up is not necessarily taken as being a toxic person. So I wanted to dive into that a little bit and kind of break down that stereotype that anyone with a mental health disorder automatically fits into a toxic category. So being toxic, for me at least, is being someone that is always trying to bring other people down, being very negative, maybe spreading gossip, hurting other people, doing things behind people's backs, like sabotaging your friends, not like because you're self-sabotaging, but because you would like to see other people fail or not succeed because you want to be like the most successful. Things like that I would see as toxic. Just being a negative, hurtful being a negative, hurtful person on purpose, or knowing that you're doing it and not caring that you're doing it, never looking for help, not admitting that you're wrong. Like, I would see that as being toxic, because at that point, you're only worried about yourself. And for me, that is a toxic kind of characteristic. So I would say that that's what makes a person toxic. So now that we know what toxic is, or an idea of like my best explanation for what toxic is, let's move over to what a mental health disorder can be. So a person with a mental health disorder could be someone that's distraught, has trouble functioning in social environments or in relationships, has changing emotions and ways of responding to things. That is completely different from being toxic most of the time. So having a mental health disorder just means that you're dealing with a lot of pressure in your head, like things that you cannot control sometimes, but it doesn't mean you're purposely trying to hurt anyone. Even if you did hurt someone, you're not doing it with that intention. You're going through your own struggle. And most of the time, people with mental health disorders will be seeking, some sort of help, trying to help themselves be a better person, control their emotions, understand themselves. So for me, having a mental health disorder, yeah, there is some overlap between being toxic and having a mental health disorder, because let's say you have a mental health disorder and you're completely fine hurting other people, and you don't really care about other people's emotions. You're not trying to work on yourself. You're not trying to change yourself. That is toxic. Whether you have a mental health disorder or you do not, that's toxic. Hurting other people intentionally, or just not even caring if you're hurting people and not looking to improve on yourself and never taking ownership of your faults, that is being toxic to me. As where having a mental health disorder just in general and going through changes and different emotions that could hurt someone, but you say you're sorry and you try and work on it, that isn't toxic. Just because these two things go hand in hand does not mean that they overlap consistently. And it also doesn't mean that anyone has to be your friend. Like, unfortunately, as crappy as that sounds, if I am a toxic person, you don't have to be my friend. Just as well as me having a mental health disorder, a lot of people can't handle that. They have the option to not be your friend, and that might be hurtful, and it might take a long time to come to terms with that. But there are gonna be people that don't understand how to deal with your situation, and there's nothing else that you can do. You can't force people to be in your life. And even if you could force them, why would you want people in your life that don't want to be there? I have bipolar, so maybe I'm very manically happy and having manic episodes, and just being over the top and very confident, and a person in my life really enjoys that part of me. But maybe when I'm going through my downs and I'm very sad and depressed, they feel like I am not being the same person, I am not giving the same amount of energy, I'm not as fun, whatever the case may be, and they don't want to deal with it because they feel like I'm changing up or it's just too much for them. That's okay. Unfortunately, there's going to be plenty of situations in life where you're not the right person for someone else, whether that be in a friendship or a relationship or even family. Just like you didn't choose to have what you have, some people aren't going to choose to jump into something with someone that has these things. At the end of the day, we choose our friends. And there are qualities that people are not going to want, whether it be because you have a mental health disorder or you just have a trait that they can't stand. These memes and things, I completely understand, because it does hurt when you have a friend and they just don't understand you and they don't understand where you're coming from. And it hurts, and it feels like they're leaving you because you have a mental health disorder. And in many cases, like, it could be that, and in others they could see you as being toxic, and that's, you know, subject to everyone's opinions. But at the end of the day, like, what's important is for you to be okay with yourself, and just know that you're trying to be the best person that you could possibly be, and you're trying to work through these situations and your emotions and dealing with being out in society. Like, you're working on yourself, and that's all you can do. Can't force other people in your life. You don't want people that you have to force in your life anyways. And the right people that will be there to support you and build you up are gonna come. You're going to find people in life that just can't deal, but you'll also find a lot of people in your life that are willing to sit down and listen, that are willing to learn things to help you cope, that are willing to be a support system for you. I would much rather have one or two people in my life that really, really want to see me succeed and want to help me be a better me, just as I would want to help them be a better them, than have people in my life that aren't sure that they want to be there because they can't handle the changes. So I think from the biggest thing out of all of this to take into consideration is just be happy with yourself and work on yourself, and the right people will come to you and try and help you be a better you. Don't worry about the people that don't want to be in your life. That's their personal decision, and at the end of the day, you just want to be happy with the people that are around you. So with that all being said, if you need any support or any more help, or you just want someone to reach out and talk to, I am always available. I'm making it more of a point to be on my social media accounts so that I can reach out and lend a hand to anyone that might need it. I have some support groups also that I could suggest to you guys. And if all else fails, or it's just something immediate and you need someone now, please check the links below. I've attached them specifically for anyone that is just going through a rough time. Please, please, please reach out and don't wait till the last minute to get help. And if you know anyone that's in a situation like this, get help for them. Don't let it be too late. So with all of that, please like and subscribe, comment below, and let me know what else you guys would like to hear about.